Most residents know that community development is where you go when you need a building permit for a new deck, for a swimming pool, when you're adding on a room or building a tool shed, when you're fencing them in or keeping them out. But did you know that community development also issues zoning approval for your home occupation or street opening permits when your new sprinkler or invisible fence is in the right-of-way, electrical permits when you're upgrading your electric service or replacing an air conditioning system, even driveway permits when you're widening your driveway? Initially, the applications and specifications for certain permits may seem complicated, but the community development staff is available to assist you through the permit process, beginning with the paperwork. Whether you need assistance filling out the forms, if you need to know when a survey or construction plans are required, or what the permit fee will be, your questions will be answered and your paperwork organized to simplify the process and expedite the staff review. There are some projects that do not require a building permit nor zoning approval. For example, when you're re-shingling your roof and not changing the pitch, when you're replacing windows and not changing the size of the openings, when you're siding your home or replacing gutters, soffit, downspouts, and fascia. When in doubt, though, don't hesitate to ask community development.
The broadest duty of the Community Development Department is to promote and protect the health, safety, and welfare of the public. This includes people that live here, that work here, people that own property or businesses here.
To ensure the goal of protecting the community and residents, the Township has adopted a nationally utilized building code, which is revised to meet the unique needs of our community's topography, climate, and population. Like the building code, the Township's zoning code guides physical development and the use of land in light of the character of the Township, the needs of the residents, and special nature of particular areas of the Township. The zoning code specifies the purposes for which the land can be used and controls the location, size, and height of structures such as houses, fences, garages, and additions. Accordingly, these regulations are intended to protect property values while balancing the sometimes competing interest of public and private property rights. As examples, setback requirements for structures preserve neighborhood character and reduce congestion. Floodplain requirements seek to reduce the risks of life and property loss in the event of flooding. Another function of community development is to work with the Planning Commission by providing technical and professional advice. The Planning Commission makes recommendations on development plans and code amendments and prepares the comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan is a guide for the overall development of the township. It includes background studies of development patterns, geographic features, demographics, infrastructure, and recreational opportunities. Much of the comprehensive plan is based on a survey that was conducted of all residents. The comprehensive plan represents a synthesis of the data collected and the studies undertaken. The result is a strategic plan for the township's future. The community development staff also coordinates the activities of the Zoning Hearing Board and Building and Fire Codes Appeals and Advisory Board. The Zoning Hearing Board meets to hear requests for variances, appeals from zoning administrator decisions, requests for special exceptions, and other related appeals and challenges, as well as requests for expansions of nonconformities. Similarly, the Building and Fire Codes Appeals and Advisory Board meets to review a code official's interpretation or application of the code or to assess safety requirements. The Chief Inspector and Fire Marshal prepare staff reviews of applications filed and present the township's position at public hearings. Naturally, fire safety and prevention is a concern to all of us. At the Department of Community Development, the Fire Marshal enforces the Township Fire Code and Alarm Code.
The complexity of the codes creates an atmosphere where compliance is best accomplished through education and engineering. Code compliance for new and remodeled buildings begins with plans examination and is established by progress inspections while the structure is being built. After the structure is built, it is the job of the fire marshal to inspect the structure throughout the lifetime of the structure for compliance with the fire code.
In residential settings, the fire marshal issues permits for home alarm systems. Emergency contact information is maintained and updated on a yearly basis when alarm permits are renewed. Did you know, too, that community development is the department to call if you have a concern about noise from construction going on too early or too late in the day, or a concern about littering? Even if you need to know the requirements for parking or storing your RV, the best way to display your house numbers, or changing the grade or contours of your lot, ask Community Development. The Code Administrator is available to respond to your concerns, assess situations, and follow up appropriately.
Residence identification or house numbers. The code is very specific about the type of identification. They have to be Arabic numerals, their size, their placement close to the front door of the property, legible from the street, so forth.
While some situations are best resolved between neighbors, community development can help with matters specifically addressed by the Township Code or those directly related to health and safety. Community development is a source for useful information. When you need to know if your property is in a flood zone, the flood boundary maps are available here. If you need to find a house number or lot block number, or want to know how your property is zoned, or if you simply need directions, the street and zoning district maps are here. If you would like to read specific chapters of the code, copies are available. Some of the most often requested chapters include alarm systems, building construction, fees, litter, handbills and political advertising, zoning, grading and soil excavation, subdivision and land development, and public and private improvements. Handouts are also available with guidelines for fences, mailboxes, home occupations, satellite dishes, signs, pools, and even census information. So that information can be readily accessed, Community Development has developed an ongoing program of file management, microfilming, and record storage. Even if you need permit information for an older property, there are property files maintained in the archive that contain some information dating back to the 1950s. Presently, all the data available on properties in the township is being collected in the GIS, Geographic Information System. GIS enables quick research of property attributes such as location, dimensions, topography, and improvements. Maps can easily be produced by zeroing in on a property and selecting the desired property features. Daily uses of GIS include identification of sewers and manholes, as well as locating buildings and natural features such as streams and steep slopes. So there it is, from permits to maps, planning to research, Community Development is available to assist you. Stop by the offices at 1820 McLaughlin Run Road, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., or call 831-9000.